Hello and welcome to the overview of the Forge Islands map. Forge Island is a new map which has been introduced to Halo 4. It is free to download and can be found on the Xbox Live Marketplace. Select the Xbox Live Marketplace and the first option should be Forge Island. It is free and I really recommend you get it. Now on to gameplay and overview. Forge Island is among the other maps in between Exile and Harvest, following the sort of alphabetical pattern they've got going here. And now I'll show you the palette and other aesthetic features of this map. And now we're on Forge Island. Here you can see the three sort of stepping stone formation areas that we can forge on. Firstly is the smaller island, middle island is just the same size but larger, and finally the much taller and much larger third island. These smaller islands are pretty much exact replicas of this, only the third one is larger. Now I'm going to show you the palettes which come with this map. This map's palette can be found by pressing X and going to Forge Island, and here we have the palette that came with the map. First of all there's artifact bases. The artifact base is a half cylinder which you can use to pretty much any means. I mean, here you can see you can create stepping stones around the edge of this rock, perhaps using catwalks and little inclines, maybe a parkour map. And in the centre of this clearing here, you can just use it to create large areas which players can walk on, and they do work because they look Forerunner, so they look good. Secondly is bridge walls. You can place them on bridges, whereas here I've used them to create a mini fort. You could put pallets in the doors, and the extra space that you're given inside you could create a sort of close the door game mode, where you close these doors to keep the infected out. Catwalk and catwalk lip can be found here as well. Here we have the catwalk lip, the catwalk in the centre, and finally another lip at the end. This allows you to connect buildings, and that is something that's been asked for quite a while. I mean, no one could really create good building connections because they all looked, with the Reach engine, especially with the bad lighting, made it look like it didn't belong, like it had just been dropped in. Whereas now you can create a catwalk which connects all the different building types that are in this game and makes it look good. Finally we have the green screen, which is also in this Forge palette. This is something that machinima directors have been asking for a very long time. You can use it to superimpose images either in this map or take images from this map and place them inside. Now as you can see here, they do not have to be in line. They are pure alpha green, which means you do not need to have them in any form of line. They will all form to create one block colour, which is actually very useful. I mean, you're not spending hours trying to finick these together using the annoying Forge tools. You just have to place them all in the general area, and you can create a large green screen of which take pictures of vehicles, anything. Not just pictures, moving images. They all work. The final extra items added to this map can be found in the natural section of the Forge palette. Firstly we have rocks 1, 2, 3. Rock 1 being a small boulder, Rock 2 being a sort of large block, chunk, and Rock 3 being a large rectangle shaped rock. It's very nice. As you can see there's little indents, cracks, curvings. As you can see here, this one actually has layers in the rock, which is something that has been asked for a very long time to make the rock look old, natural, make it look like it fits into the map. And something about these rocks just make it look like they fit. I mean, as you can see here, once I generate the lighting, they sort of adapt. They adapt with the shadows very nicely, and they actually work with whatever you build. Then we have trees 1 through 3, which can also be found in the natural section of the Forge palette. Tree 1 being a slim, small tree. Tree 2 being a sort of large, bulkier version of Tree 1. And Tree 3 being a sort of more greener, but sort of less bulky as Tree 2. I mean, as you can see, it has a much longer trunk. However, I like to bring it down to sort of a floor height. Otherwise it looks a bit silly, guys. So now there's the 3 trees. And finally I've built something here to show just how all these new items can be used. I mean, here we have some sort of arena style map. I've used the trees to create a clearing in the centre of which a rock type 3 has been placed. And this shows how the trees react with the lighting in the game. You can see here that there are dots where the light would be coming through. I've used the trees behind them in layers to create a more forest-like effect, although there wasn't enough, along with the extra rock, to complete this around the entire circle. That's why I'm waiting on a modded map where there'll be more trees to add to this forest. But this just shows how you could use all the items. I mean, you could create small forest areas, sparse forest, whatever you want. I mean, 50 isn't a very large number, but I'm sure you can make it work. It will work. Finally, an example that I've showed before is these, where you can build artifact bases into the map to create stepping stones and other little mini structures along the outside of these large mushroom-like rocks. And that's it for the overview of Forge Islands. As you can see, there are 2 more islands that I haven't really visited yet, but there isn't much to show. They're pretty much identical to Forge Island 3. So I'm going to ask, if you liked this video and you found it informative, could you please be sure to like, could you please be sure to comment on your views, your feedback, your opinions, what you'd like to see next, any map ideas you have for this, and perhaps anything that you'd seen on previous Halo games you'd like to see again. And subscribe to see more content. That's all for today, and I'll see you next time.